All right, the second game of the doubleheader on TNT, the late game, live odds, SBR odds, and Sportsbook review. Jazz and Warriors, game one. Warriors 13.5, 207 the total. You got to be kidding me. A second-round series in the playoffs at William Hill series price, the Warriors are 7,000. You got to bet 7,000 to win 100. Did you see higher at the Westgate?
Yeah, Westgate's minus 10,000 to win 100 on Golden State. So, it brings up a fascinating question. From a power rating standpoint, Utah and the Clips were basically even. So a lot of people had Utah maybe a point better than LA at the end of that series after Blake Griffin got hurt. And that's why we saw in the finale, it only went 3.5, where the line is only sitting at 3.5 in that contest. My question to you, Pauly, is is this the same line against the Clips? Are we talking about the Warriors minus 10,000 or minus 7,000 against the Clips, even though that LA is power rated and basically even with Utah?
It'd be higher because of the Griffin injury, and the Clippers were so bad on offense. And the other thing you have to factor in, at least Utah beat Golden State this year. The Warriors embarrassed the Clippers in every game this year, and I think they've won like 12 in a row against them or something ridiculous. So without Griffin, they would have swept them. They probably would have won every game by 25 or 30.
And it's funny because I was thinking that it would have been a little bit in this range, but a little bit lower, maybe the minus 5,000 or minus 6,000 on Golden State, just because even though the Clips haven't made a Western Conference Finals, they are a playoff battle-tested team. Utah is not, and the Warriors are about to show us that Utah is not. Obviously, with the line at 13.5, the markets are not expecting a competitive game one, and with the line at minus 7,000 / minus 10,000 on Golden State, the markets aren't exactly expecting a competitive series either.
So Kerr's out indefinitely, and we'll see if the Warriors come out fresh or rusty. How's it going to be? They could be flat. They lost 105-99 at home, laying 10 against the Jazz April 10th. Everyone but Klay Thompson played. Here's Draymond Green on Kerr. Quote, the way we look at it, it's plan on him not coming back. That's the way we're approaching this thing. We're not going to sit here and say if we can get to the conference finals, Steve may be back for the conference finals if we get to the finals. Nah, Mike Brown's our coach. We have the rest of our staff, and that's what we're rolling with. We're going to have to hope and pray Kerr gets better and can get back. At the end of the day, his health is more important than anything. End quote. The Jazz beat the Clippers with a bunch of role players stepping up. You're not going to be able to beat the Warriors this way. But they're kind of on a free roll here, too, where absolutely no one expects them maybe even to win a game. I think it'd be an upset if they can even send this thing to 6.
Well, sure. When you look at the price for game one, you know that Golden State's going to be favored by more than 5 in the 2 games in Utah, and assuming that there are only 2 games in Utah, if it goes back to Utah a third time, the Warriors will be favored again in that minus 6 range one would expect. And we think about the Warriors, they kind of had a perfect ride against Portland. They got tested a little bit, but not so much where it wore them down. They had time to adjust to Mike Brown being in charge, and they also got Kevin Durant back on the floor. 56 game minutes, not a ton, but enough. And of course, Durant, very effective. 16 to 27, 14 rebounds, and 3 block shots. So when we look at Portland and the setup, we look at Golden State and the setup for this game, it certainly sets up pretty well for them. But when we look at the Utah side of the equation, it is kind of like a free roll here for the Jazz. And it's very key when you're talking about big underdogs in any sport, but in the NBA in particular. There are 2 different types of teams. A, teams that go in thinking they can win. They're going to play hard early, but once they can't win the game anymore, you know what? Those type of teams tend to lose focus and get blown out. Teams that don't expect to win, those teams tend to keep a better focus when they do fall behind, and they have the potential to stay alive and come in through the back door. So what's the Jazz mindset? Are they going into this game thinking they can win, or are they going into this game hoping they can compete? Well, Quinn Snyder wrote one word on the chalkboard in the locker room prior to Game 7 at LA. That word, quote, compete. Just saying.
This has become a story now, and it's unfortunate. New SportsBit feature, want to know why? Matt Barnes said he was hoping to face the Clippers because Salt Lake City has no nightlife. Draymond Green basically said, you idiot, it's the playoffs. We're not going out partying.
Yeah. Okay. And, of course, you want to know why Matt Barnes has been on 11 different teams since his first game with the Clips in 2003. And of course, he's also a guy that drove 95 miles to fight Knicks coach Derek Fisher, when Derek Fisher was still the coach of the Knicks, when they found out that Fisher was romancing his estranged wife. But Barnes is one of these guys. The talent's never been a question. The mentality has always been a question. So here's his quote, okay? If you're 6'7" and you can run and jump, you can get paid a lot. But you know what? You can also say a bunch of stupid things. Here's what he said about wanting to play. No comparison. There's no such thing, man. There's no nightlife in Utah. Obviously, as players, you want to be able to have a little bit of nightlife, but the main focus is winning games. Me personally, I want to get out there because I want to beat the Clippers. That's my former team and my kids are out there. But as far as nightlife, there's no comparison to nightlife in Utah and LA. Well, guess what? Matt Barnes hadn't played since April 8th because of a sprained ankle. And you wonder, maybe this is a guy that we probably should avoid a microphone right now. Draymond Green is right. You're not supposed to be talking about nightlife in Salt Lake City when you're on a team trying to make a championship run.
Wild there. Unbelievable. Up next, we'll get into roulette and the deep dive. Some interesting numbers here about how millennials love it. And you won't believe the surge just from last year with what's happened in Nevada. It's coming up on Sportsbook. Betting Insight today on SBRpicks.com. Hey guys, for the full video, go to SBRpicks.com.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.